both of those.
Hey, you.
Hello, sir. How's it going?
Welcome. I'm in a weird position.
My name is Uwais.
Sorry?
My name is Uwais.
OccupyUW have close ties that echo beyond the colors of our sweaters and our sports teams. It's bound in our unwavering commitment to causes and ideals that students have always embarked on. Even now, as we ask the University of Waterloo collectively to do the bare minimum, Rafa waits for slaughter. Millions' lives hang in the balance. But what are these institutions choosing? Laurier chooses its own kind of complicity, to a region of universities that demonstrably aid and abet the killing of Palestinians. The university that demands that we, the collectively outraged of both campuses, to stand down, while Israel flaunts its breaking of international law in the crime of genocide. Laurier's academic neutrality is a smokescreen to hide its own dubious financial ties, where millions of dollars are sent through private firms to dubious and unnamed investments. However, as a leading business school in this country, we the students are unconvinced that it cannot know where its money is going. To reiterate, we the students, collectively unified behind the three words painted behind me, are simple. We demand University of Waterloo disclose all financial ties to the Israeli terror state. Demand that University of Waterloo divest, to relinquish all dealings which the university profits or otherwise obtains from these illicit partnerships, contracts that are drenched in the blood of now thousands. Laurier's neutrality is not shared by its students, and so we stand with the students here as a signal to both of these institutions that their dealings are not private and the blood on their hands is not invisible. Long have these two universities cherished the works of its students for their own gain, while in Gaza, no place of higher education remains. No university for those left in Gaza. Palestinian students left without access to education. Palestinian students taking refuge in tents. We also know that students have long stood against the war machines, from South Africa to the United States and Vietnam, to Israeli crimes in Gaza now. It is beyond outrage, as we witness genocide in ways dystopic and surreal, but visceral and pressing in Rafah. The contradictions between what we are told and what these institutions' true priorities are give more meaning than ever to the demands we make, to disclose and to divest. Until the administration shows the same level of intellectual and moral fiber that I have seen from its students, we will give no concession, we will not meet on their terms, we will remain until the demands of this combined body are met. We at the 902 and Laurier broadly stand in full solidarity here, now, with the residents of Gaza House. All Laurier students ought to do the same. I say, following as an alumnus of Laurier, a student leader and activist, and chairman of the 902, that this will not stop. These student bodies will not rest until we see the immediate and fundamental divestment from the Israeli regime. We demand, as one community, these simple terms that my colleagues have stated. If the university will not take our word seriously, they should sit in front of the library and consider the resolve of the students that they trained. Finally, we at the 902 make our own demand that Laurier provide full financial transparency to its financial investments abroad, to end the cultural complicity with UW's contributions to this genocide, to boycott and divest from all investments, public and private, to the Israeli regime.
Today is the 11th day of our encampment, and the University of Waterloo is losing its privileged patience. We have been here for 11 days, while Palestinians have been experiencing unimaginable hell for 229. The student body remains unified and steadfast in their support of the Palestinian people here at this university. And in our studies, we realize and internalize that there are no universities left in Gaza. Palestinians are kidnapped, tortured, displaced from their homes, and dehumanized in media. Palestinians have their schools bombed, their hospitals buried, and their places of worship ruined. Right now, we are experiencing the most documented genocide in history. Right now, Rafah is being bombed. Not weeks from now, not months from now. We do not have time for the protracted bureaucratic processes that the university purports to be engaging in. Who knows how many children will be killed by then? We need action now. These people, these families, have absolutely no option for survival. And our university is complicit. The existence of the Hellfire missiles, the F-35s, and the F-16s, the spyware and the machinery currently being used to exterminate the Palestinian people is enabled by our tuition money. We are here to demand that the university cut these ties immediately. We want full disclosure of all investments, divestment from institutions complicit in genocide, and a formal academic and cultural boycott of the genocidal settler colony of Israel. As students, we have explored every reasonable avenue. We have had rallies, vigils, Senate meetings, disruptions, and even a meeting with the president himself. The fact is, the university does not care about Palestinian lives or the upholding of human rights. The statements that are sent out seem to prioritize their stance of neutrality and the right to protest, both of which are not reflected in their actions. Creating the technology for the collective demise of an entire people is not neutral. This is only one of the instances of the contradictory nature of our admin. For instance, in the agenda package for their May 6th Senate meeting, the university proposes a comical list of their ethical imperatives, including to, quote, embrace decolonization, indigenization, inclusivity, equity, anti-oppression, and anti-racism. Let me make this clear. The university cannot oppose colonization while contributing to its maintenance. The research that our tuition money produces is used to create the spyware and weapons that are tested on and used against Palestinians. The crimes against humanity are undeniable, unimaginable, and completely unacceptable. We will not rest a wink until our institution absolutely ends its stake in the absolute erasure of the Palestinian people. Thank you.
My name is Sarah Ahmed. I'm a student here at the University of Waterloo and a negotiator on behalf of the Gaza House encampment. Over the last 11 days, as we have heard more and more horrifying news coming out of Gaza, I, as well as the students here at this camp, have been feeling increasingly disgusted by the role our university plays in this genocide. We know that the university is complicit in the massacre of Palestinians through its investments and direct ties to Israel and its occupation forces. We have tried to engage with the university admin multiple times regarding our three basic demands. We, like many students before us, are calling for the university to disclose a full list of its investments as well as its financial and academic ties. Why does the university refuse to meet the most basic demand of transparency? What does it have to hide? The university is doing nothing but denying their students the right to know how their money is being used. We are calling on the university to divest from all companies on the boycott, divest, and sanctions list, as well as from defense contractors and weapons manufacturers. And finally, we are calling for an academic and cultural boycott of all Israeli institutions. For the past 11 days, we have pushed time and time again for negotiations, only to be shut down by the admin. They have refused to respect our time, refused to respect our privacy, and have outright refused to hear our demands, all while sending out false statements to the student body claiming to have established a dialogue with us. It is the admin who refuses to engage in dialogue. They are lying to the student body, but we refuse to be silenced. The university claims to operate on the basis of safety, yet they have done nothing but foster an unsafe environment for the students they pretend to protect. They have installed 7 cameras on all sides of the camp, which they use to track the activity of all students, including campers, day in and day out. They have 24/7 police presence around the camp, and they have even sent informants inside the Gaza house to spy on us. We are being constantly surveilled, constantly watched, yet the admin insists that they must physically invade our space in order to guarantee safety. To them, this illusion of safety comes at the cost of endangering marginalized students. We have communicated multiple cases of harassment from agitators and employees of the university, only to be met with inaction. We have been harassed, doxxed, called slurs, and yet the university's response has been silence. A recent incident involved an agitator who had been reported multiple times to the university admin, but due to their glaring inaction, the agitator was emboldened to escalate and break into our camp. putting many students at risk. The university still has not done anything to protect us, yet they have the audacity to claim that this is their main concern. Instead, they intrude on our time to discuss the threat of groundhog holes in the camp, rather than showing any concern for the threats faced by the victims of a genocide that they are complicit in. We have many students here who have lost multiple loved ones in Gaza. The university has made students who are speaking out against a genocide being committed against their own friends and their own family members feel unsafe. Admin pretends to care about our safety, all while neglecting the students who are facing racism and harassment, dealing with grief, and suffering as a result of the university's direct involvement with the Israeli war machine. Instead, they are benefiting from child-killing bombs. Over the past few months, the university admin has purposely complicated the process of boycott, divestment, and disclosure, caring more about the concerns of genocide enablers than those of their own students. Through their insidious exchange program with Technion, the university has allowed IOF soldiers onto our campus. They have openly welcomed individuals who have contributed to the murder and displacement of thousands of Palestinians into student spaces. Technion's administration fuels the Israeli military. Their research labs develop the weapons that destroy Palestinian lives, the surveillance that enables apartheid, and the tanks that their students drive into Gaza. They are the lifeblood of the IDF and the beating heart of the Israeli war machine. In their agreement with Technion, it specifically states that the university can choose to terminate their relationship at any time. Yet they continue to disregard the students by maintaining a deal that helps no one and harms many. The university must boycott, they must disclose, and they must divest. Otherwise, they will go down in history as having directly contributed to the most documented genocide to date.
We will not stop, we will not rest. Disclose, divest. We will not stop, we will not rest.